high above Earth, moving faster than a rifle bullet, exists a place that defies nearly every instinct the human body has ever developed. It is not anchored to land. It does not rest on water. It never stops moving. This place is the International Space Station, a permanently crewed outpost orbiting Earth every 90 minutes, suspended in a state of perpetual free fall. From the ground, it appears as a bright, silent star sliding across the night sky. From within, it is something far more intimate. It is a home. For more than 2 decades, astronauts from around the world have lived and worked inside the International Space Station, conducting experiments, maintaining systems, and learning how humans survive when gravity no longer provides direction, pressure, or comfort. Life aboard the ISS is neither glamorous nor routine. It is demanding, precise, and profoundly strange. Every action, from sleeping to eating to simply moving across a room, must be relearned. To live inside the International Space Station is to experience existence stripped of its most familiar force. The journey to the International Space Station is abrupt and unforgiving. After launch, a spacecraft accelerates to orbital velocity, roughly 28,000 kilometers per hour, fast enough to continuously miss the Earth as it falls around it. Within minutes, gravity still pulls, but weight disappears. When astronauts first enter the station, the sensation is immediate. There is no up or down, no floor, no ceiling. The body floats, untethered, reacting to even the smallest movement. A gentle push sends a person drifting across a module. A careless twist sets them spinning. Orientation becomes meaningless. Walls are lined with handholds. Velcro patches cover nearly every surface. Objects not secured float away, slowly, silently, becoming hazards if left unattended. The station itself feels both spacious and confined, a network of cylindrical modules connected like beads, each filled with equipment, cables, laptops, and experiments. This is not a spacecraft built for comfort. It is built for survival. On Earth, gravity defines movement. Inside the ISS, movement must be unlearned. Walking is impossible. Sitting makes no sense. Even standing is an abstract concept. Instead, astronauts float, pull, and glide from place to place, using hands and feet interchangeably. At first, this constant floating is disorienting. The inner ear struggles. The brain receives conflicting signals. Motion sickness is common in the early days of a mission, but the human body adapts. Within days, astronauts learn to move efficiently, gracefully, even playfully. What once felt chaotic becomes natural. They begin to navigate the station with subtle motions, a fingertip against a wall, a toe hooked into a strap. In microgravity, strength and weakness are redefined. Heavy objects are weightless, but still massive. Push too hard, and Newton's laws push back. Every movement has consequences. Life aboard the ISS follows a strict schedule. Every day is planned nearly to the minute, coordinated by mission control centers across the globe. Astronauts wake to music chosen by ground teams. They review schedules, attend briefings, and begin work almost immediately. Scientific research dominates the day. Experiments range from fluid physics and combustion to biology, human physiology, and materials science. Some studies examine how cells grow in microgravity. Others investigate how fire behaves without buoyancy. Still others focus on how long-term spaceflight alters bones, muscles, vision, and the immune system. Maintenance is constant. The ISS is an aging structure exposed to extreme temperatures, radiation, and micrometeoroids. Filters must be replaced. systems monitored, repairs performed in spaces barely large enough to move. There are no specialists in orbit, everyone must be adaptable. Eating aboard the ISS is an exercise in precision. Food does not stay put. Crumbs float. Liquids form drifting spheres. Everything must be contained. Meals consist largely of dehydrated, thermostabilized, or vacuum-sealed food. Water is added carefully. Packaging is opened slowly. Utensils are tethered. There is no refrigeration in the traditional sense. Fresh food is rare and treasured, often arriving aboard supply missions and disappearing within days. Astronauts eat wherever they choose, anchoring themselves to a wall or handrail. Meals become social moments, where crews gather, float together, and share stories from Earth. In a place where nothing feels normal, food provides familiarity. Sleep in space is unlike sleep on Earth. There is no bed, no pillow, no gravity to pull the body into rest. Astronauts sleep inside small crew quarters or sleeping bags tethered to the wall. They zip themselves in to prevent drifting. Without gravity, the body does not feel its own weight. Arms float upward, legs drift. The sensation is often described as sleeping while suspended in warm water. The station experiences 16 sunrises and sunsets every day. To maintain circadian rhythms, lights are carefully controlled, mimicking Earth's day-night cycle. Even so, sleep can be elusive. Noise from fans and equipment hums constantly. The mind struggles to rest in a place so far removed from natural cues. And yet, astronauts adapt. Microgravity reshapes the human body. Without gravity pulling blood downward, fluids shift toward the head. Faces puff up, legs thin. Vision can change as pressure builds behind the eyes. Bones lose density, muscles weaken. The cardiovascular system adapts to a world where it no longer has to fight gravity. To counteract this, astronauts exercise for roughly 2 hours every day. They run on treadmills while strapped down. They lift weights using vacuum resistance. They cycle in place, anchored by harnesses. Exercise is not optional. It is survival. Every workout is a reminder that the human body evolved for Earth and must be constantly reminded how to return. Hygiene in space is functional, not luxurious. There are no showers. Astronauts clean themselves using damp towels and rinseless soap. Hair is washed with water that must be captured and recycled. The bathroom, one of the station's most complex systems, uses airflow instead of gravity. Precision is required. Training is extensive. Privacy is limited. Crew quarters are small, just large enough to float inside. They provide solitude, a place to retreat, to read, to think, to call home. In a station shared by people from different cultures, languages, and backgrounds, cooperation is essential. The ISS is not just a scientific laboratory. It is a test of human coexistence. Perhaps the most profound part of life aboard the ISS is the view. From the station's windows, Earth fills the frame, vast, luminous, and alive. Continents slide by. Cities glow at night. Storms swirl across oceans. Borders vanish. Astronauts witness natural disasters in real time. They watch lightning storms flicker silently below. They see the thin atmosphere clinging to the planet like a fragile shell. Many describe a deep emotional response, a sense of unity, fragility, and responsibility. This perspective changes people. The International Space Station is more than a laboratory. It is a proving ground. Every day spent aboard teaches humanity how to survive beyond Earth, how to recycle air and water, how to live in isolation, how to cooperate across cultures, how to endure confinement and distance. These lessons will shape future missions to the moon, to Mars and beyond. The ISS is temporary. One day, it will be deorbited, burning up in Earth's atmosphere. But what it has taught us will endure. Life inside the International Space Station is not easy. It is uncomfortable, demanding, unforgiving, and yet it represents one of humanity's greatest achievements. A place where science, cooperation, and curiosity converge. A home that orbits a shared world. High above Earth, astronauts float in silence, working, living, adapting. And in doing so, they remind us that no matter how far we travel, Earth remains our first home, and space, our next frontier.